I'd say that what comes to mind first is they go too shallow. A lot of times folks kind of look at data through one lens. They might think of it as a web analytics or maybe call logs or whatever. It could be an Excel spreadsheet that they use every week. Data is really multidimensional. So looking at what folks look like they might be ready to buy what you offer and timing wise, and when is the best time to approach them. Competitor benchmarking and share of voice analysis. So whether it be in a digital space or just in the market in general, if someone were to talk about your company's name versus someone else, what share of voice do you really have in people's mind? That's another one that's very data driven. And a couple more would be looking at lifetime value analysis and also budget prioritization. You go to your favorite restaurant, look at the menu. You're not going to order all those items at one time. You're going to choose something that's right for you right now. So even though all these things exist, it's probably never the case that any even large organizations would tackle all of these at once by any means.
Right.
I think it's good to keep in mind what's available just so a person or a team can say, gee, what should we tackle next? But at least knowing what's possible is good. And then you can start with the thing, because doing one thing well is better than just looking at a list of a bunch of things and just not doing any of them because you just don't know where to start. There are certain constraints around a situation. It could be time that you have. Write those down so you kind of know what you're up against in terms of those constraints and those guardrails. Constraints actually create structure and format. So I wouldn't even look at constraints as a bad thing. What I think the biggest value of this process-oriented approach is that mapping out your steps allows you to understand and define who does what. When I say who now, that could be a person, a tool, a combination of it. That's super important. When you do that, you reduce what psychologists call cognitive load, which is the amount of extra thinking you have to do to get something done. Once you have a process, the cognitive load goes way down. And that means that error rates go down, efficiency goes up, and then you have more time now to actually process, whether it be get new clients, close new leads, or just make your current customers happier than they were before because you've done a better job, done it more quickly. So for me, it's really helped me look at marketing campaigns more holistically rather than siloed. My biggest pet peeve working with anyone, whether I'm the customer or I'm the partner or the vendor, is when a person I'm working with looks at it only in their little silo. It's really hard to look at things objectively. I think where companies get in trouble, whether you're the CEO or the CMO or a marketing manager or whatever, is looking at it from the perspective of how you see your company, not how you want to be seen, but how do they actually see you?